Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you're having a good morning this morning. Maybe you're still in your PJs, maybe you're having breakfast as you watch this. I hope you're well. First of all, I want to say a huge well done for completing that last week of school from home. Some of you might have found it great. You might love being at home with your grown-ups and maybe your brothers and sisters. Some of you might have found it okay, maybe a little bit more playtime than usual, but missing school a bit, and some of you might have thought it was a bit rubbish. You're missing your classmates, you're missing school, and it's just really tough being home. So a big pat on the back, well done, because you have completed your first week, and we are 1 week closer to going back to school, and we are 1 week closer to seeing our friends, and we are 1 week closer to getting that vaccine. So, I have some things with me today, and I wonder, can you work out what I would use them for? So I have a weighing scales, I have a whisk, I have an egg. I have to be very careful not to drop that, or I'd be in a bit of a mess. And I have this. So can you guess what it's for? It's for baking! And when you're baking, it's important that you have the ingredients and the instructions, isn't it? Can you imagine if I gave you all these things and I just left you outside Tesco and I said, get all the bits you need and then make the cake? You wouldn't know what to get. You wouldn't know really what's important. You might think, I need the instructions. How am I meant to know what to do? How do I know what's good to put in, what's not good to put in? So instructions can be really helpful. And today we are going to be starting to look at a prayer which Jesus gave his disciples as an instruction or a guide on what are good things to say when you pray. And it's called the Lord's Prayer or the Our Father. And I think this prayer is really special as well because when you're in a relationship with someone like you are when Jesus is your friend, it's important that it's not just one way. Can you imagine if my friend here, Mr. Kangaroo, if the only time I saw him was when he came to give out, if he just said, Alana, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, and then ran away. Or if he came and said, fix this, fix this, fix this, and ran away. It wouldn't be much of a friendship because usually we talk about things that are good and we talk about things that are hard and we talk about things we're thankful for and maybe what we're sorry for. And just like you talk about those things with your friends, you can also talk to Jesus about those things. And this prayer is a great example and a special way that we can remember all those things that are important to tell God, like we're sorry for things that we've done, or what we're really thankful for, or those sort of things. And some of you might know from school, when we were in school, we used to say it on Friday mornings in assembly, and we used to put our hands together and bow our heads, and then we would try say it as fast as we could. I don't know if you guys ever did that. And our class would try to get faster and faster, and one teacher would always say it really slowly, trying to pull you back. And we used to go, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be. And we weren't really taking note of how special or how important that prayer was. So, I know we're not in school, but I need you to put on your thinking caps and get ready. Now, I wonder, can you tell me how many words on screen mean like a group of people, so like our or we, or kind of things that would signify that a group are saying it together? Can you count up? Okay. So, do we see the way it's not just me, my, all about me, what I want? There's actually a real community element to this prayer. And I wonder, when you're at home, do you ever pray with your family? And you might be home more than usual at the moment, and over the next week, it could be great to pray for things together. So in my house, we always pray before we eat. Maybe in your house you do that too. But it could be a nice idea next week when you're doing school that maybe you all stop for a minute before you start school in the morning and you just ask Jesus to help you. Maybe you could say the Lord's Prayer together and you just ask for his help throughout the day, and maybe ask him to help you with your patience, or maybe to bring you some joy that day. And there's real power from praying together. There's lots of times in the Bible where people gathered together and prayers were answered. And we've seen that in our church as well. The adults do things called prayer meetings, and they've seen lots and lots of prayers answered over the years. So there's real power when you gather together with other people who know Jesus as well and pray for things. And sometimes we don't get many opportunities to pray with groups of people for things. Most of the time when I pray, I'm by myself. A lot of the time I'm sitting at my desk, I'm on a walk, I'm in my bed. But it is super when we get an opportunity to pray with other people for things. And one of my favourite prayers that Jesus answered was when I was with a group of my friends, and we were leading on a children's camp. And we were due to have this big scavenger hunt outside at 7 o'clock, and the whole day we had 100% chance of rain according to the weather prediction. So the weather forecast even. So we prayed all day and we said, Jesus, please help this event go ahead. Whether you find a different way for us to do it, or whether you just equip us for the rain, or whether you take the rain away, Lord, please let this event go ahead. Because we couldn't really go outside all in the pouring rain and do the scavenger hunt. It wouldn't have really worked. It would have been a little bit miserable. And it didn't rain that night. It went from 100% chance of rain to no rain. And I really believe that was an answer to prayer. And I remember afterwards we all sat down and we all prayed and we all thanked God. And one of my friends who wasn't on the camp, I was telling her about it, and she went, wow, you really believe the Lord answers prayers? And that the Lord helped that? And I said, yeah, I really do. There's power in our prayer, and our prayers have such power because of Jesus. So don't be afraid to pray this week with your families, with your grown-ups, with your brothers and sisters, and see what prayers the Lord answers. And sometimes it can be nice to write down what you pray for in a little notebook. And especially if you're praying for something for a long time, sometimes prayers don't get answered instantly. But if you write them down and put the date beside it, it might be years, it might be weeks, it might be days, or it might be minutes, and you can go back and you can see when the Lord answers prayers. So whether you pray the Lord's Prayer together, or whether you pray for different things, why not pray together instead of just alone, and see how that goes. So over the next number of weeks in these online videos, we're going to look at different bits of the prayer, and we're going to look at how special they are and different stories that relate to them and what the prayer actually means. So a very exciting time up ahead. We are just going to say the Lord's Prayer together before we end. So sit however you feel comfortable. You don't have to have your hands together, but whatever way helps you to concentrate, sit like that. And we'll pray together. So, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Boys and girls, I hope you have a lovely week, and I hope online school goes really well. And don't forget to take some breaks where you go in the garden, or you go for a walk in the park, and you just get a nice mental break. See you all soon. Bye!